The fourth and seventh term of a geometric progression are 1 upon 18 and negative 1 upon 4 upon 486 respectively. You want to find the first term and the common difference of the given geometric progression, right? Now remember, we've been given the term. So if you guys remember the formula for the general term, right? So Tn is a into r raised to n minus 1. So we'll be using this kind of formula. So let's note the given information. The fourth term we know is 1 upon 18. So fourth term, remember, can be denoted by T4, which is 1 upon 18. Now, if you use this formula, if you write it in terms of a and r, right, the first term and the common ratio, because that's what we want to find. So T4 will be a into r raised to 4 minus 1. 4 minus 1 is 3. So I can say ar cube is equal to 1 upon 18. Let's consider this to be our first equation, right? T4 will be ar cubed, n minus 1, so 4 minus 1, correct? Next, we've been given the value of the seventh term. So let's make a note of that as well. We know the seventh term, so let's take that to be T7. Seventh term is negative 1 upon 486, right? Now T7 will be a into r raised to 7 minus 1, which is ar raised to 6, which is equal to negative 1 upon 486. Let's consider this to be our second equation, right? Now we want to find the values of a and r, two unknowns, and we have two equations in a and r, as you can see. What we will do though is what we can do now is we can divide equation number 2 by equation number 1, right? So we can say dividing equation number 2. Let's use a color for equation number 2. So dividing equation number 2 by equation number 1, right? And by doing that, what we get, right, on the left hand side, it will be ar raised to 6, divided by ar raised to 3, that is equal to, on the right hand side, I have negative 1 upon 486. Let's write that down. We have negative 1 upon 486 divided by 1 upon 18, right? 1 upon 18. So this is my what I've done is I've divided this second equation by the first one, and the reason to do that is, if you guys notice now, on the left hand side I have a in the numerator, a in the denominator, that gets cancelled. R raised to 6 divided by r cube. Now if you guys remember the laws of indices, a raised to m upon a raised to n was a raised to m minus n. So r raised to 6 minus 3 will give me r cube. So r cube is equal to, this value here needs to be simplified a little. So if I write this down, this is going to be negative 1 upon 486 divided by 1 upon 18 makes it multiplied by 18 upon 1. So 18 upon 1. And here as well, the terms can be cancelled out. The cancellations here, let's see now. So I have 18 ones are 18 twos are 36, and I'll be left with 126, which is 18 sevens are 126, right? So I get my value of r cube as negative 1 upon 27. All right. So r cube is negative 1 upon 27. Now the cube of what number will be negative 1 upon 27? Right? That is a question that we want to get answered here. So I can say, therefore, r cube is equal to, or rather I can write it here itself, negative 1 upon 27 is nothing but the cube of negative 1 upon 3, right? 27 is the cube of 3, and since there's a negative sign there, right? So r cube is equal to negative 1 upon 3 the whole cube, and therefore I can conclude that r is equal to negative 1 upon 3. Right, so I found the value of r, the common ratio. Now I need to, I'm not yet done, I need to find the value of a, the first term. So for that I will substitute the value of r, which is negative 1 upon 3, in equation number, let's do it in equation number 1, right? It's a relatively smaller term to deal with, right? So if you guys remember equation number 1 over here, ar cube is equal to 1 upon 18. So let's write down the terms. We have a r cube, r we know is negative 1 upon 3, negative 1 upon 3, right? So ar cube is equal to 1 upon 18. You want to solve this equation to get the value of a now. So a into negative 1 upon 3 cube will give me negative 1 upon 27 is equal to 1 upon 18. Rearranging these terms, I get a is equal to negative 27 upon 18, right? And unsimplifying this, if you guys have noticed, this is 9 2s and 9 3s. So on simplifying this, I get therefore a is equal to negative 3 by 2. Alright, so there we have it. We have the value of the first term and the common ratio, and that is what was asked in the question. Find the first term and the common ratio. So let's write down our final answer statement now. So therefore, the first term is equal to negative 3 by 2, and the common ratio, let's write it here itself, right? So, and the common ratio, we found that to be negative 1 upon 3. Right? This is our final answer. First term is minus 3 by 2 and the common ratio is negative 1 by 3.